Hey everybody, and welcome to the Half-Ass Sportscast, your reference for everything pro sports, or reference, or whatever you want to call it. I'm Ryan Faulkner, your host, and with me from now on is going to be my good friend, calling in live from Phoenix, Arizona, Mark Brigani.
How you doing, everybody?
What's up, Mark?
Hey, Ryan, thanks for having me. I know we've been talking about doing this for a while, and I'm glad it's finally here, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man, let's have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not having fun would stink.
Not having fun would definitely stink.
So, all right. So, you're obviously from Wisconsin, right?
Born and raised, 22 years, right outside Milwaukee.
Hey there, and you got a little Brew Crew shirt on, I see.
Hey, we're hopeful. Last time since '82, the Brewers have went this deep in the playoffs. I was 2 years old then. I don't remember anything, so I'm pretty pumped living it up. And I'm an avid Brewers fan, Packers fan, Bucks, Wisconsin Badgers, and you will hear me talk about occasionally the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. I'm a huge fan of theirs in college sports. Kind of dates back to when my grandfather was still alive. He just always rooted for Notre Dame, so that's where I kind of picked up on that. But in a gist, that's pretty much it. Now I know you want to throw something in as far as my teams, don't you, Ryan?
You know it. You forgot to mention the Phoenix Suns and the Cardinals on those teams. See, because whenever I met Mark, we were both people from out of town, and David Murphy is rounding third to score, and it is 2-1 2-1 Tigers. So sorry, I got sidetracked.
You got excited there. It's okay.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So we were both out of towners, but I don't know. I didn't feel the need to pick up on the local teams, but you did, which you'd always give me a hard time about whenever the Mavs were playing the Suns, and the Mavs Suns for about 2 years there was about almost as good as it got.
It was a heated rivalry, right? I mean,
it was. It was really good, but you'd always give me junk about the Suns, but then you'd never say anything about the Bucks.
Okay. You mean the Milwaukee sucks?
The Milwaukee sucks?
Yeah, I mean, come on. What do you want from me? One playoff appearance in the last 10 years, I think. I mean, I might not be, too current on that, but it can't be far off. I mean, they haven't been that good. I'm still a fan. My friend and I used to go to quite a few games when we were kids. I mean, I'm a Bucks fan, but living in the city since 2003, it's kind of hard not to, like I've told you before, get excited about these teams when your local teams are the Phoenix teams in this market, and they're just being thrown in your face. All the sports talk locally and everything you see around town. So, I mean, did I drink a little bit of the Kool-Aid? Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll give you that. I kind of give into that. But
you bought Cardinals season tickets.
I'm a Wisconsin fan for life. Shut up. You went to a couple of those games.
Awesome. So. Well, I just wanted to give you a little ribbon on that. Because,
that's all right. I knew it was coming. That's cool. I got it.
Right,
You've been doing it for 8 years, so why stop now, right?
Yes. All right, man. So let's just get into some baseball right now. Two of the four teams that are playing are from our hometowns, the Rangers and the Brewers. About to say the Milwaukee sucks.
Whoa. Easy now. Wrong sport. We'll get into it if there's ever a season. We'll talk about the sucks.
So let's get into that respectively. I'll talk about the American League. You can talk more about the National League. Right now, talking about the Keenan Kinsler just stole a third. Awesome. All right, sorry. Let's talk about the Rangers here. Rangers
updates. I like it.
I know, as through my excitement.
Look at Ryan live reporting here. Brilliant.
Live reporting. I hope we don't get fined. As long as we don't show it, right? We're good.
No, you're not allowed to discuss it without the written consent of MLB.
Oh, well, I asked him right before.
Look at Rich on top of his game. I like that.
Now, before each broadcast, I like to go ahead and just put that out there because I know they're watching. MLB, if it's not okay for us to talk about the game tonight, please send me a letter or an email. That's rich@sparkproductions.us.
They're honest, man. They're watching us.
They didn't either.
Nothing so far, so go ahead, guys.
The Rangers, of course, they won the ALDS against the Rays in 4 games. Now they're in the ALDS. They won the first 2, and now it's a tie game, sir. It is a tie game in the top of the 6th.
What's going on?
Tie game, top of the 6th. Ian Kinsler comes in from whoever's on first single. So this is worth watching again. Oh, Tiny Elvis. There we go. So now they're pulling what's his nuts, the starter. That was great. And so yeah, it's tie game, top of the 6th, Rangers.
So Fister went 6, huh, for Detroit?
That was yesterday. This guy is something.
Oh, was it yesterday? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mr. Fister went yesterday.
Mr. Fister. The back alley brawler.
Twisted Fister went yesterday. It looks like they're going to keep him in, Porcello. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. This is really hard to do, and I'm looking. The camera is like 2 feet from the television. So now they're in the ALDS. They won the first 2 games at home against the Tigers, and 2 games that honestly, either one could have gone either way. It wasn't a definitive win. Neither of them was. But especially that last game with the Nelson Cruz walk-off grand slam, the first ever in Major League Baseball history, which is pretty amazing.
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. How exciting was that? I mean, watching that in extra innings. I think it was the 11th, right?
It was the 11th.
Bottom of the 11th, bases loaded. And you saw a couple of pitches before that. He yanked a couple foul that were just as far, if not further. And he finally connected on one just by his knees, and he kind of golfed it out of there, but he had enough pull on the ball, and it went flying. It was really exciting. And he's a really great player, Ryan, not to mention an ex-Milwaukee Brewer, so you're welcome for that. We groom him. You guys take him. It's okay, though. I've been used to it my whole life, so that's all right.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like you're going to lose. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all are going to lose Prince Fielder.
Hey, Prince Fielder. Yeah, I don't know. There'll be a couple of suitors. Hopefully he won't be in our division, but not to say that won't be the case. Cubs might be a suitor, and if the Cardinals lose Pujols, they might go after Fielder as well. So 2 teams that are in Milwaukee's division doesn't look good for them, but we'll see.
Well, we'll get to the Bucks or the Bucks. Dang it, I did it again. We'll get to the Brew Crew here in a second, but
yeah, we'll fix that in post.
Yeah, never happened.
Let's talk about the Rangers and the Tigers. 2-1 series lead for the Rangers. I think they're going to wrap it up in 6. That's just my opinion. I think you guys have too great of a lineup, too great of a bullpen not to take care of the Tigers in 6, at least, maybe 5. What's your thoughts?
I got to tell you, our bullpen is definitely better. I think that 11-inning game when what's his nuts only went 2 innings or 3 innings, dude. First show back, I'm forgetting all my stats.
That's all right. We'll shake the dust off together.
Yeah, so he only went about 3 1/4 or 3 1/3, not a quarter, it's not 4, 3 1/3 innings, and then we had to have Matty Harrison, not Matt Harrison. Oh my God, I'm so off my game today. Anyway, our long reliever had to come in, basically save the game. And then we had to use a ton of our bullpen. But I thought that the fact that we went to our bullpen was bad, but our bullpen was so much better. All it did was just knock us down on their same level. And with the extra innings in the game, they had to use their bullpen just as much. I thought it gave us the edge as far as wear and tear because Sunday there was no game because of the rain delay. So now they're having to play 4 straight games. I think that is a very big thing that you need to look at with the endurance of the bullpens. And luckily, we pulled that one out because if we didn't, that would have been pretty devastating. But we did. We hung in there. I got to tell you, I underestimated
credit on that. I mean, look at when this team got taken over by Nolan Ryan. It's just been all upside ever since. I think he was really big for you guys, and it just shows his passion and love for that team and for this sport. And he's got you guys riding high right now, man. I think you guys are the faves to win the whole thing.
The old owner, Tom Hicks, brought him in here basically just to gain some fan favoritism. Because
it's a new golden age for Rangers fans.
Yes, just like it's like he did with the Stars when they brought in Joe Nieuwendyk. It's kind of almost just like, hey, come back. You know this guy. He's cool, right? You like him. Even though Tom Hicks has no interest in actually running and doing anything with the team because he's so broke. But bringing in Nolan Ryan, what that did.
They got some money to spend there. I don't know how broke he is. I mean, I'm not in the guy's pocketbook or anything. I'm not his accountant, but they got some money to spend down there.
Well, Tom Hicks no longer owns the team, which is good for the Rangers. He's fixing to go into bankruptcy and sell the Stars, which is even better. So soon he'll have
money. That's good.
He'll have zero influence on the sports teams here in Dallas. But with the move, what Nolan Ryan did was it brought more or less a philosophy in here. It brought a guy that the pitchers can't really give any excuses to. And he brought a mentality when he came here that said, hey, look, I don't care what you're used to. You're going 7 innings. If you're struggling out there, we're leaving you in. So you better figure it out. And don't tell me you can't, because you can. And what are they going to say to Nolan Ryan? Nothing. So I think that's the most important thing. He was
you ever seen that guy duke it out with some batter coming to the mound? You don't want to mess with Nolan Ryan. He'll friggin' knock you out, man.
Oh, by the way, Rich, I talked to Bono, and he's got season tickets, and he noticed that the first game of next year is first home game next year is against the White Sox. And guess who just got named the White Sox GM? But Robin Ventura, or not GM, or a manager, Robin Ventura.
Yeah.
The guy he beat up. So you think they'll go at it and have round two?
That is awesome.
How awesome is that?
You guys will surely be looking forward to that down there.
Dude, forget Mexican soap operas. American baseball's where it's at.
For shizzle. All the way.
Now, Rich, speaking really quick from Nolan Ryan in his Houston Astro days, do you find any difference in his pitching styles from one team to the other?
I honestly, I didn't even follow him back when he was in Houston. So.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
well, that was
I came to know Ryan like right around when he was gunning for his 5,000th strikeout. It's kind of late comer to the game, but after that he just became my hero. I collected every baseball card I could find on the planet.
You being from Houston and kind of having him in both your cities, that's kind of cool, don't you think?
Well, I'm a Dallas native, so I spent a stint down there in Houston. It's where we launched the show. But
okay.
So yeah, it's good to have him here in the hometown and where he needs to be.
Cool.
But it's funny, Mark, because you just asked a sports question. Do not a sports guy. He could have told you.
Hey,
you could have asked him a NASCAR question. He would have said something.
A thing or two. Come on.
I could fake it if I have to.
Yeah,
and I often have to. So
literally one thing or two, maybe. Come on.
So in sports, I hear there's a ball. Go ahead and talk about that, some guys.
Oh, Michael Young with the hit. Oh, we got the. Oh, Elvis Andrus is coming home. Safe. Oh, we got the lead. Woo! What a 6th inning, baby. Yes, Elvis comes around from second.
Play-by-play on the Lone Star Network, I tell you.
Yeah, this is definitely venturing to the realm of illegal.
This is going to get edited out.
Right?
If they lose, this is getting edited out. How excited I am right now.
Hey, Ryan, really quick to touch and wrap up on the Rangers-Tigers series. Have you noticed, as have I, that Verlander is not the same pitcher in the postseason as he was in the regular season?
He was pretty dominant. Now, I don't know. It's only one outing against the Rangers, so we'll see.
I'm saying overall, even against the Yankees.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I was wondering how he's going to be. Honestly, I was surprised at how well we knocked him around. I really was. And I thought that was a good punch in the psyche. But likewise, TJ had a horrible outing, in my opinion, too. So it's almost a stalemate. When it comes to a stalemate between Verlander and CJ Wilson, CJ's great, but I'll take that edge over that win. Whenever CJ just doesn't play that well, I'll take it. So, yeah, I don't know. Verlander, I'm worried about what he's going to do tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. But enough about the Rangers. Let's talk about your Brew Crew. Hey, I got it right.
Really quick.
Yeah. So
before we get into anything Milwaukee related, really quick, I know we were talking about this earlier. Can you let everybody know about what you found out as far as Zach Greinke and a social anxiety disorder?
Yeah, Zach Greinke. In the offseason, I knew this for a fact because the Rangers were hot after a couple of pitchers after they didn't get Cliff Lee. They wanted Garza from Tampa Bay. He didn't go to them.
He went to Chicago.
Yeah, they wanted Greinke. But Greinke, he's been very sketchy. He has what is called social anxiety disorder. Basically, for him as a pitcher, he doesn't like the big light. He liked being in Kansas City. a nowhere team kind of. He actually took like a year off where he didn't really want to play, and it wasn't just like, hey, he's taking the year off. It was like his agent was like, look, we'll let you know. Well, don't call us. We'll call you.
Yeah.
He's got to get this figured out. And he even ended up getting it figured out. They actually came back to the table, said, hey, look, we're good to go. I promise. But he says that he doesn't want to pitch in these big team markets. Like he doesn't want to pitch in New York. Doesn't want to pitch in Boston. He doesn't like the big light. So he goes up there to the Milwaukee, which is fine for him.
It's a small market team. You're not going to get a lot of media coverage up there or anything. So. And
I think you said he went was it 16-0 at home?
Yeah, he had a great season. If I'm mistaken, I apologize, but I think it was something along those lines at home, and then like 5-6 on the road. So obviously he's a really good home pitching pitcher, and on the road he seemed to struggle a little bit. Not too bad, but again, I don't know if those stats are concrete. I'm not going to say that they are, but I know that he was undefeated at home and had a little bit of a slip up on the road.
So that's why whenever I asked if he was in the playoff rotation, you said no. I thought that was probably the reason.
Well, he is in the playoff rotation, and actually he's their number 2 starter. The problem is, though, he won their first start against Arizona, and that was at home, although he did give up a couple of runs. The second stint wasn't so good. It wasn't all his fault. But some of his pitches were missing a little bit. They ended up winning the game, but it was definitely the Brewers bats that did that for him. Speaking of those Brewers bats, they have big bats with Braun, Fielder, and now Ricky Weeks seems to start to be hitting in this series against the Cardinals, where he was lacking very much so against the Diamondbacks in that 5-game series. So that's good to see, because the Brewers' 5-hole spot has been trouble for them all year long. But they're starting to get a little bit of production from their front. You got Nigel Morgan, and he's like their spark plug. Tony Plush, T Plush, I think is what he goes by, one of his 3 aliases. I don't know what that's all about, but he's pretty out there. But he can play some ball, and he's definitely been helping us out. Corey Hart's a heck of a leadoff hitter. A guy who has that kind of power, who can also put the ball in play. Rarely strikes out or walks. He usually puts the bat on the ball. That's always good to have. But St. Louis, with the series switching back over there, they have some big bats too. How about Pujols the other night? What a monster.
Oh, dude. Talk about the hits of the night. They had to be with Pujols and Cruz the other night. It was
unbelievable. He was 4 or 5 with a home run and 4 doubles. 5 runs batted in. The guy's a beast.
It was a good day for the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, no kidding. Those guys, man, I'll tell you, both of them, Nelson and Albert, man, they really came through for their teams in those games. So can't really say much, but those guys are who we thought they were. Little Denny Green there for you.
Easy, Denny Green. Easy, Mark B.
Now. At least I didn't pound. Okay, I pounded the desk. What are you gonna do?
Can we go ahead and give Prince Fielder the title of second fattest person in the major leagues behind CC Sabathia?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think you're going to worry about him stealing too many bases or rounding first on an inside the park home run or anything soon. Yeah, he's pretty fat. I mean that in PHAT and FAT. I mean, he is a fat, if you will, baseball player. He's got awesome numbers. But he's just plain and simply overweight too, so there's that to be said. But
it looks like he's
a great
making
player.
Red pants, man.
He's in the running for NL MVP, so can't take too much away from him with that. Along with his teammate Ryan Braun, go Brewers. Happy to say. So yeah, we'll see where he ends up next year. Like we were talking about earlier, it's not a shoe-in that he's going to return to Milwaukee. In fact,
Yankees.
Highly doubtful.
So does Fatty McGee have a penchant for calling his shots?
A la Babe Ruth, right?
Right.
I haven't seen him do it too much. I know he was really scrutinized during the All-Star game for not calling out one of the Diamondback players, which the All-Star game was held at this year here in Phoenix. Everybody was kind of hoping and rooting for Justin Upton to make the home run team. He picked Ricky Weeks. So he was scrutinized for that. He might be scrutinized for being fat too, but I don't know if he's too much of a calling out his shot kind of guy. I haven't seen that yet.
He needs to do that. That'd be epic.
He needs to do it with a cigar in his
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
And a cheese.
Give your lit stogie to the bat boy as you waddle up the plate.
Yeah. as you're finishing your turkey leg drumstick and throwing it to the side.
Let's make this sport what it's meant to be.
Fat and lazy? Is that what we're going for?
Oh shit! My power just went out. Am I still on?
Still got you there. Power of the laptop.
You're on battery.
Power of the laptop. My TV just cut off. So
luckily, your Lone Star backup generator is functioning.
Sweet, awesome.
We've got the Studio Bs on emergency power.
Well, that might be a sign to stop talking about baseball and switch our thoughts to football. What do you think?
Let's do that.
All right. Well, I'm going to start this segment off by talking about your beloved Dallas Cowboys.
Well, let's not.
What do you mean we have to touch on? I mean, hey, not all is lost. They're 2-2. They're hanging tough. What do you think about Dallas Cowboys winning the division?
I think, honestly, the way the Eagles have played, which is just glorious, man. Well, it is such a year.
Yeah.
It's such a year for dream teams when you think about the Heat. Yeah. Look at the Eagles. Dude, I look at the Phillies. This is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. The dream teams are alive and well, let me tell you.
So with them,
right out.
With Vic looking like the Vic he was in Atlanta, throwing 4 picks. Like, really? Dude. That makes it easier.
Touch on Vic, but let's talk about Dallas first.
Well, I'm getting to it. And with the Giants playing like they're playing, I guess their biggest competition's got to be the Redskins. And you know what? Good luck to you with Rex Grossman as your quarterback, because it ain't happening. Lackluster running game. Pretty good secondary, but the linebackers are lacking. I think that, if Dallas can just find their groove, if Romo can calm down, they have a chance.
Romo's not the problem. Romo, I don't think is a problem. Yes, he has a knack for ruining a game by throwing a big interception and ruining a big play or something like that. But I don't know. I just think that line it's just put together. It's really ordinary. There's nobody that stands out. There's a lot of young players on your line. You got a lot of young receivers. Miles Austin is your veteran. You got a lot of young talent there. I just think that if they can help Romo out a little bit, he's an all-pro quarterback. I don't think he's really your problem.
No. Romo has played pretty good in these 4 games, actually. It's just the about 2 or 3 plays a game that he's picking to really play bad. What I do put it on is the lack of running game. In a game like the Lions game, you're going to hold the lead if you can run the ball. But they couldn't run the ball. They just can't run the ball. Felix is not getting it done.
Line.
Yeah, I mean that's how you burn clock is you run. If you can't run and you have to throw, I mean it's just not going to happen for you. You need to have that threat there, and they don't. Look,
what did I tell you? I think I told you, Ryan, when we talked earlier this season, week 5 or 6, I predicted DeMarco Murray to be your starting running back. That looks to be a pretty good thought there.
I think they'll go through Choice before they'll go through Murray.
Really?
Yeah, they will.
He's your third down back, though.
I don't think they trust Murray to pick up the blitz.
Yeah, but I think he's fast as hell, man, and he can get through those holes if there are any. I think.
From what I've seen of him, I love. I really do, and I wish he'd start, but I don't think they trust him picking up the blitz. I know Jason Garrett uses his running backs very heavily like that. That's how they've been using Marion Barber. Is just, if anything, pick up the blitz.
That's another problem with Romo. He's in a pass-happy offense. There's no balance. The run doesn't set up the pass. It literally is all on Tony's shoulders, and that's why he's forcing these balls and trying to make things happen because he feels like he has to. Nobody else is coming through.
Yeah, that, and, the defense is all right. The secondary's banged up this week. It looks like Orlando Scandrick's coming back, which is good because they'll need it. I mean, they need everybody they can to control Brady and all them. So, I don't know. We'll see.
It's a hell of a game to come off the bye to New England, right?
Well, you know what? As banged up as they were, it didn't matter who they were coming up against. It's just they needed to get that rest. They need Austin to get back. They need their secondary to get back. They needed Romo to get more healthy. I'm not sure if it's going to be fully healed, but yeah.
What a beast, though. That one game when he had a punctured lung and came out and against the 49ers, that was a hell of a game, man.
That was incredible. And, you look at that, you look at Jay Cutler, I hate to pick on Jay Cutler, but I don't know. It's just he needed that, and me and my dad are arguing that they shouldn't play Romo because my dad was like, "Look, one hit and you could be out for the season." You could say that for any quarterback. You could say that for any player in the NFL. You can't play scared. I think it was a great leadership thing for him to go out there and show the rest of the team, say, "Look, I don't care." Especially coming off a game that they basically lost. The week before, he needed that to stay in there to show that he could play. I thought that was paramount.
Nobody's questioning his toughness, though.
No, nobody's not. And, before they really were. And I'm really proud of Tony. But then again, last week with 2 pick sixes, there were bad throws. I mean, you go back and forth from extremes every week. It's really tough to be on the guy's side. I still think you can win with them. It's just really tough to defend them after those first 2 horrible performances. So,
2 players. Really quick, I want to interject. 2 players, really quick, on both sides of the ball. One, Sean Lee, linebacker. I don't know where you guys got him from, but he's looking to be an all-pro sooner or later. And Des Bryant, I've told you immediately when you called me, hooting and hollering, I think it was, on the phone when Jerry made that pick, I said, you guys made the steal of the draft. I stand to it because he's been injury-riddled since he got into the league. And I'm telling you, if this guy can stay healthy, he's got all the tools in the world to be like just an all-pro, man. Just a year in, year out, Randy Moss, T.O., just one of those kind of players that just can dominate a game.
Well, he's got that persona. He likes to jaw after a play, but he needs to learn how to calm it down and maybe pick his spots. But, I think he was going to be the steal of the draft. They picked him 17th, I think, overall. He fell really low because of the character issues people might have thought. Because if you remember, he got suspended for that last almost a full year from OSU because of tampering possibly with
I think it was it Dion, right?
Yeah, he was meeting with Dion, and supposedly an agent was there, and it got real cloudy. But
all over the country in every program, I think. So, big whoop-de-doo. I mean, if the guy's a stand-up guy, he's not into drugs, he's not drinking, and, making it rain and strip clubs and getting arrested, I think you guys will be all right.
But let me close with Sean Lee, man. I mean...
Yeah, where'd you guys find this guy?
Dude, he's been on the team for 3 years. This is his 3rd year, dude. His first year here was whenever we got Keith Brooking, and a bonus to getting Brooking. That was last year or 2 years ago when Brooking had led the team in tackles. The guy was a beast. He's amazing.
But he's getting old.
Yeah, he's getting old. And last year, the problem with Sean Lee was his first year. He couldn't remember the playbook to get on the field. So then they used Brooking a lot, and then Brooking had a good year last year. He remembered the plays, but he just wasn't any good. And then they used Brooking almost like 85% of the plays he was on the field, and he's too old to be doing that. Right. So now coming into this year, you don't know if Keith Brookings even coming back. Turns out he is. He's too old. You needed Sean Lee to step up, or else that would be a busted draft pick. And the guy is leading the team in tackles. The guy is a beast this year. I don't know what happened for him going almost to a bust to being a beast. But it is happening.
Thoroughly impressed. Yep. Thoroughly impressed with Sean Lee. It seems like they're always calling out his name multiple times during the Cowboys games. He's making play after play. His motor never stops. You guys should be excited to have him. I think he's going to be really good for you guys for a long time to come.
All right. Well, normally we would, we talk more football during the football season, but baseball playoffs are here, and two of the 4 teams are our hometown, so we're going to talk about that much. But let's quickly, I guess, or however you want to do it, quickly. Let's talk about more of the NFL.
Can I give you a little bit more of the NFL?
No, that's what I was saying. Let's talk more NFL.
I know baseball's going on, and I'm excited. And as soon as we sign off here, I'll be tuning into the Brewers game. But I just want to touch on a couple of topics, and I think that one to touch on is the Philadelphia Eagles. Being in the Cowboys division, their collapse right now is catastrophic, and I'm personally loving every minute of it. Anybody who comes out and dubs themselves a dream team, In my book, it's just asinine. I'm happy for Vic. I'm happy that he's kind of cleaned up his life a little bit. He said that he's dropped those friends, all that crap that happened when she got him into jail and stuff like that. That's fine. I don't have anything towards the guy or anything, which I don't. I want him to succeed and see him be happy and be successful. But at the same time, with Vic, and I think you can agree, Andy Reid tried turning this guy into a pocket passer. And that's never been his MO, probably dating back to his high school days. This guy is fast. He's elusive. He's exciting when he's running the ball. And the funny thing about it is he's got such a great arm. I mean, the guy is throwing like a 60-yard rope. You know what I mean? It's mind-boggling, this guy's arm strength. And his accuracy at times can be on and off, which has kind of plagued him. But, Vic trying to be a pocket passer, I think, is kind of getting, and you see his numbers, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah. Then right next to that, 3 interceptions. So that's kind of a problem for them. And also, I think there's no chemistry in Philly whatsoever. I don't care how many stars are there. What do you think?
To touch on your Vic statement, and he was an abysmal quarterback in Atlanta. Contrary to popular belief, his average quarterback rating was like a 60-something. He completed 50% of his passes in the 5 change years he was there. He wasn't a good quarterback. The only thing he did was he'd run. He'd do his first check, and if that check wasn't there, he'd take off.
Gone.
And if you call that a quarterback in the pros, that's fine. He's a starting quarterback, but that's not a quarterback. Now I will say that he has become an infinitely better passer since coming to Eagles. And it's actually kind of impressive a little bit. If you remember in that playoff game where they got blown out by the Cowboys, he got the Eagles' only touchdown. But I don't know. I'm kind of not sold. I saw a year of it last year, and it was good. It was on and off.
He was an MVP candidate.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, how many people do you know get 2 $100 million contracts in their lifetime? Much less in between years of jail.
How much of that is he going to see before he's paying off everybody, right?
Well, actually, those $100 million contracts are quite tricky. Usually, the players see about $60 million of that due to one reason or the other. But like the Napoli going deep.
And another in-game update by Ryan Faulkner.
That's okay. He didn't hit anything. Albert Hainsworth had that $100 million contract. It's actually, when it boiled down to it, it was only really $65 million because that was around the time when the DeMarcus Ware was fixing to sign, and that was the year before DeMarcus Ware signed for a long-term contract, and everybody was talking around it here about is he going to get $100 million? He's like, no, he's probably going to get 90 because Hainsworth really isn't getting $100 million.
Ryan, really quick. No offense. I feel like we're getting off on a tangent here. Really quick. Can Vic?
All right, we are. I'm sorry.
Can Vic lead this team to the playoffs? Yes or no?
Yes.
Vic can lead this team to the playoffs at 1-4.
Yeah, I think if they rediscover the running game, they will.
Okay.
And they got too many people on defense. It's not working
on defense, dude. I haven't heard Asamoah's name but once this whole season.
But if they figure it out, it's not going to take long. I'm just saying, the pieces are there. I'm not saying I want them to. I'm not saying they can. But I'm going to say if they do, it could click just like that. It ain't going to take any time to snowball. But
just so you guys know, I have no faith in the Redskins. I have the Dallas Cowboys winning that division. Anyway,
it's theirs for the taking.
I want to move on really quick. The 2-5-0 teams, the Packers and the Lions. I have a little bit of love for the Green Bay Packers, as you might know.
Uh-oh, what are you going to show me here? Oh, no.
A little bit of this.
Oh, no.
Right here. A little helmet time. This is old school, okay? This is back in the day. I think Bart Starr might have worn this helmet.
Is it made out of leather?
Oh, let me see. No, it's hardcore, but I don't know. My beer here is... I'm good. Anyway, 2-5-0 teams. The Packers and the Lions. What do you make of this possibly undefeated matchup coming up on Thanksgiving?
Dude, is that when their first home game, or is that when their first division game is?
Their first division game is on Thanksgiving Day at 10:30 in the morning, I believe, Phoenix time.
Oh my God, that's going to be awesome.
So if both these teams can stay undefeated till then, I think it's going to be quite the battle. It's in Detroit. Aaron Rodgers, quote unquote, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the league right now. He's playing out of his mind. Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, probably the best wide receiver in the game at this time. And and the culture has totally turned around. Hang on, I'm getting a bad echo here. Hold on. Oh, there we go.
It might be the helmet you're wearing, dude.
It could be. Normally,
is that a broadcast helmet?
Yeah. I want you to have that helmet on, and I want you to wear one of those broadcast booth like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman wear over that helmet.
Yeah, he needs a sports coat.
Cosell here. No. So
Bart Starr here, calling from the 50s.
I got Bart Starr back here somewhere. Next episode, you'll see Bart. But anyway, Green Bay is, and I'm not just saying this. They are the class of the league right now. Aaron Rodgers is playing out of his mind. But Detroit, I don't know if I'm a believer yet or not. 5-0 is hard to avoid. But Matthew Stafford, if he's healthy, he can sure put the ball down the field. And Calvin Johnson and that running back Javid Best. They got something going in Detroit, man.
I gotta say that y'all's teams both look alike. Like you have a decent one quarterback's clearly better than the other one, but you got good wide receivers and Greg Jennings and Megatron. You have good quarterbacks. You both kind of have suspect running games. Now, yours is a little bit more skewed in Green Bay than it is in Detroit, and maybe that makes up for the quarterback difference. But I think that game is going to be so juicy, and I don't know. I have to look at the schedule. The likelihood of them being both undefeated at that time would just the probability would be crazy high, but that would be orgasmic if that would happen.
Yep. I think it would be an epic battle. It'll be fun to watch. What do you make of the Buffalo Bills at 4-1?
Dude, I'll tell you this. I drafted Freddie Jackson really late in my fantasy football draft, and I ain't regretting it. It's nice to see two Rust Belt franchises, towns that have been affected by the economy actually playing decent. And teams that have historically been pretty bad. Well, not historically. The Bills were pretty, 4 Super Bowls in 4 years, but they lost 4 of them.
Yeah, but I mean, the past 10 years, they've been almost at the
bottom. They've been the dregs of the NFL, and to see them do good, you know what? I'm happy for both of them. Both the teams, both the towns need it. I think that out of nowhere, the Bills just are tearing it up.
Fitzpatrick, Chan Gailey, the old Dallas Cowboy coach at the helm, and all this hanging over them about moving to Toronto or Edmonton or wherever in Canada. I mean, that's pretty good, man. They're keeping that city's hopes alive.
I think that's awesome. It's great for the NFL. It's great for those towns, and it's fun to see the a little bit of a turnover in the NFL. The Patriots aren't always going to kick ass. The Cowboys aren't going to kick ass. Well, they haven't been kicking ass for the past decade, if you want to take that into account. But like the big
Quincy
power
Carter,
teams,
baby, Quincy Carter.
Dude, I'll tell you what. How about the Raiders?
I'm glad you mentioned the Raiders. They're a surprise team at 3-2. I think Hugh Jackson. I don't know him from the Man in the Moon, but he seemed to have turned the culture around there in Oakland. And I'll tell you what. I mean, with Darren McFadden and that running game, boy, if they had a quarterback, and I know Jason Campbell's serviceable, but I'm talking about a real quarterback. I think they could be a definite threat in this league.
Campbell is serviceable. Hayward Bay is having, to say he's having a good season is not saying much. Because he's been nondescript. But McFadden's looking like all of a sudden the guy that they wanted to draft.
He was just hurt early. He was hurt early on in his career. He's definitely picked it up now.
Oh, and he's really he's actually been consistent for the first time in his career. It's really good to see. Because the thing that pro football has over college is that they give their teams an opportunity. The bad ones to try to get a leg up and try to improve from year to year, even if they can't possibly do it on the field.
Right.
And I think that's what makes the NFL really good and really fun. So it's good to see teams like those three actually starting to do good. But
let me quickly, Ryan. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but 4-1 Buffalo Bills. wins over the Pats, wins over the Eagles. Is this team a playoff team, yes or no?
Oh, hell yes.
They're a playoff team in the AFC East.
I think, well, argue me.
Fair enough. All right. Fair enough.
I mean, you lose another one to New England, so...
No, I can't argue. That's a valid point, and we'll just see. I mean, I don't know if the mojo is going to run out there at the Bills' extent, but we'll see. San Francisco, weak division, yes, but how good is Hardball?
I don't know.
This is the exact same team that Mike Singletary couldn't win. They're 4-1.
I don't know, because I really don't know. Maybe it's a philosophy, but that's what Singletary was praised for, was his hard, I might be an X's and O's guy, but you're going to play hard kind of guy. And usually you get a response out of those kind of people for a little bit. And then, they fall flat when they realize you don't have any schemes, to back it up. Kind of like the Heat coach, or the Heat coach against the Mavericks coach. Carlisle was always doing X's and O's, and old what's his nuts was always just trying to give a pep rally.
Spoelstra was like a cheerleader for the
Mavericks. Yeah, Eric Spoelstra was basically a cheerleader. That works for a little bit, but then it runs out whenever you're in a critical situation, you need some smarts. So
I'm a big believer. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is Harbaugh. I don't know. I always kind of liked him as a quarterback when he was in the NFL, journeyman quarterback. But I don't know. I always just kind of liked how he played. And then when he went to Stanford, and he turned that program around from, abysmal, a joke, to number 5 in the country right now. I mean, I know he's not there anymore, but his players are. I got to say that the 49ers' success is due to Harbaugh. I don't know. Just me.
Maybe. I mean, with the success that he had at Stanford, I guess you could dub him, possibly as a leader of men. We'll see if they win that division, but it's really a dichotomy. It's really confusing because they haven't done anything. Really, they haven't done anything.
Well, the division is so weak too that anybody who does anything. I mean, last year 8-8 or 7-9 won it for the Seahawks. I mean, come on.
Oh, don't get me on the year the Cardinals went to the Super Bowl. That was just dumb luck. That
was dumb luck. I mean, well, they did have Kurt Warner, but it was dumb luck. You're right.
But they won 9 games. 6 of those were in their bad division, the worst division in football. So
right.
And they beat the Cowboys with Tony Romo when he had a broken hand. So that's 7 wins right there. So that means they only won 2 other games outside their bad division.
Kevin Kolb, are you a believer?
Yeah, I still am. I'm not off that bandwagon yet.
I'm not picking him to win the division.
I'm not picking him to win the division. I think Cobb's a good quarterback. I think they need to have a little bit more than just Cobb to Fitzgerald, which they really kind of don't.
I agree with you.
Beanie Wells, once he does something, I don't know. They need a lot of other stuff besides Cobb. Cobb isn't the worry. I think they're at the position you want to be, a young quarterback, a good quarterback, and it's where you want to build a team around that, and that's fine. They just either need to decide to start sucking or to start winning because they're in the middle. That's where you don't want to be in the NFL.
They're horrible right now. They're in the Andrew Luck sweepstakes, and they just signed Cobb. So I don't know if they do finish 2-14 or 3-13. I don't know if they're going to draft Luck if they get the number 1 pick or what they're going to do, but they're definitely in there. So
I don't know. The Colts might have something to say about that.
Wouldn't that be something? From Manning to Andrew Luck. That would be quite the turnover. Really quick, and I want to touch on one last thing, and then it's your show. Atlanta Falcons, New York Jets. 2 Super Bowl teams deemed by a couple of sports writers and so-called know-it-alls around the league across the country at the beginning of the year. Are they even going to make the playoffs right now?
The Jets, dude, you see Sanchez's game the other night? Or was it not this past week, but the Monday night game? I started him as my fantasy quarterback. He had as a quarterback, he had -1 and something points. How do you do that as a quarterback? You get points for showing up. I don't know. I don't know. What has happened to that defense boggles my mind. Really.
Why do you have Sanchez as your quarterback, dude? What's up with that?
Hey, you know what? They went to 2 straight AFC championship games with the guy.
Yeah, because of the ground and pound, my friend. Not because of Sanchez's golden arm.
I tell you what, that is definitely not there. Tomlinson is almost a non-factor besides one game this year, and then you got Sean Green, who is just
invisible. He's non-existent. I thought he was the future for that team.
Totally. Santonio Holmes isn't having an effect. They're dinking and dunking their way to
their wide receiver core is not the problem. When you bring in Plaxico Burress, and I know he's been in jail for a year, and he's still a good football player, Dustin Keller at the tight end position, and Santonio Holmes, Tomlinson out of the backfield, it's not the wide receiver's fault. It's that makeshift offensive line that's been hurt all year, and Sanchez's, in my opinion, inability to be an NFL quarterback.
I think if you take a good offensive line away from Sanchez, it exposes him for a bus driver. And, you know, maybe that's not fair. Maybe he just has had a really good offensive line in the past, but, I mean, he doesn't look like a guy that clearly has it together, and something's got to change if they're going to win. Now, as far as the Falcons, I did not see that coming. Matt Ryan, they go out and get Julio Jones in the draft. Do you think they're going to get more offensively charged with Turner, with Roddy White?
Anthony Gonzalez, Tony Gonzalez, I mean, come on.
I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. The only thing I think, and I think it's going to hurt them because that division's got a lot better. You got nobody was really looking at Carolina. They're giving them a year off.
Cam Newton is the truth. That's all I got to say. Cam Newton is for real.
And then Josh Freeman down in Tampa Bay. You didn't know that was going to happen, and you're already in the division with the Saints. So that's huge.
Hey, did you see that score? 48-3, Niners over the Bucks. Whoa.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, what's going on there? Yeah, Tampa Bay's falling apart. I kind of agree with you. To be honest with you, I thought that Green Bay was going to go into Atlanta on Sunday night and lose. I really did. And at halftime, my prediction was almost certain to come true. 14-6, they were down, and then they rattled off 25 straight points. Aaron Rodgers buckled down and got it together. But I'm still waiting for Atlanta to kick in. I mean, Matty Ice, you know, he's young, but you can see that there's some talent there, and the coaching staff's in place, and that defense. Now they were down John Abraham this past week, and he's a vital part of the pass rush. But Roddy White, all those guys you mentioned before. I mean, I'm surprised that team is falling as fast as they are, especially in the division. Saints look like they're on fire. Carolina's coming up. In a few years, if they can keep Cam Newton upright and healthy, if they put some pieces around him, you know, it'll be tough for Atlanta. So I'm definitely surprised at both of those teams. Are they making the playoffs? Either one of them, yes or no?
I'm going to say with Atlanta's case, the divisions rise. I think they might be left out without a seat. The Jets. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'd have to go ahead and say no, only because they've made it to 2 consecutive AFC Championship games, and maybe it's just, you know, they're on the wrong side of the swing right now. So I'm going to say both teams no.
I'm going to agree with you. To disagree with you, I think that both teams are going to make the playoffs. I think the Jets are going to finally get it together and lean on that defense. And hopefully they can patch up that O-line and start running the ball again. I think Atlanta will at least be the wild card of the NFC. You know, of course, I don't know for sure, but I think they'll get it together. And I don't know. I got both those teams still making the playoffs. I'm not sold on Buffalo just yet. I might be eating my words in a few weeks.
You're high.
Like you said, I might be eating my words, but I'm going to stick with the Jets in that division. I just think their coach is too good. Rex Ryan's the real deal. He's a motivator. He gets on those guys. You know, they go into oncoming traffic for him. I don't know. We'll see.
Wow, that was nonstop. Usually
that was good, man. I did we get through it? I mean, did we cover everything? I feel like it's just been like flying by here,
dude. Well, usually we try to screw around a little bit, but I mean, there's so much going on.
This is really good. I'm glad you guys can really pour into the topics like this and bounce back and forth. That's what I want to hear.
You like that, Rich, huh?
I do. I'm eating it up.
Hey, by the way, Rich, Mark says you look like Paul Bunyan.
I feel like Paul Bunyan most days. Okay.
I was asking Ryan, where's Blue, your ox? I didn't know where... And your axe. You got to have an axe. No, I saw a picture of you, and you had this big burly beard, and I don't know you from the Man in the Moon, but it looked Paul Bunyan-esque. So
actually, the beard's gone away, and I've grown grown some hair back out. Yeah, that was I think that was during a stint up north. We were spending like a winter up in New York and Virginia and places like that, and
you got to stay warm.
Yeah, at one point I had the fuzz going, and then I went into a barber shop, and the guy didn't quite speak English, and I ended up getting a buzz cut. So I had like nothing on top and like the mountain man on the chin. It was awesome.
Sweet.
Cool.
Anyway, enough about my facial hair. You guys ready to wrap it up for today?
Yeah, man.
I think so. Cool. Ryan, anything did you want to say here in closing?
Dude, I think you did better than me on this first show. I'm really off.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you,
absolutely.
because I know this has been your baby for a while. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You gonna be back with us next week?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you guys will have me, I'm pumped. You know, Ryan and I think we have some good banter going, and we got some good. So yeah, if you guys will have me, I'm down.
And more to cover in the future for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, dude. I think we had talked about Mark's going to be the staple. He's going to be my co-host from another city.
Yep. And I'll try to get a camera on me at some point so you guys can get a live picture of me, so I don't have to be a faceless voice. But
I feel faceless this whole time. I got to be honest with you guys.
Actually, that's true. You're working off the iPad, so he's doing it all audio.
I've done it all audio. I've been staring at this little camera on the iPad this whole time, and I can't see myself or anybody else, so I hope it turned out okay for you, Rich.
You're doing better than Bill O'Reilly at staring at the prompter. That's great.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a green screen behind me, and I'm on Fox News or I don't know. But
yeah.
This is really awkward. A minute ago, Rich was telling me to do it a little bit slower and look at the camera when I did it.
Yeah.
Did you have like an earpiece where you can
sells, Ryan. It sells.
You can try and go, hey Ryan, slow down.
This just in, my TV is still broken. Did that ever come back on, by the way? Did you ever get power back?
Much.
Yeah, dude. I'm watching it.
Well, yeah, thanks for being here, Mark. We'll have him back again next week, everybody. And
are we going to do an outro, or are we just going to make something up?
We are. Well, I was thinking we should close off. Anybody's watching the podcast, watch us live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. There's a chat room function available on the website, or if you're an iPad user. So join us live, chat along with these guys. I'll relay that stuff as the producer and get you involved in the conversation. Subscribe to the podcast. It's going to be at frontiertelevision.com/sports. You can find the links for all that, Twitter, and all the good social networking stuff associated with the show. Back to you guys.
Sweet. Well,
Brian,
Mark,
I'm hoping that next week we'll have the iPad gone and the laptop up and running here, so it should be a little bit better. But thanks again for having me, dude. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that's all for us here at the Half-Ass Sportscast this week. Sports chalked up. We'll try to chop it up next week with a little bit more BS, but I guess that's it for this week. So, later. Bye. Bye.